I went back on Celebrity to give it another try, and this time I went on a short 3 night cruise on one of Celebrity's older cruise ships to see what the experience was like compared to Royal Caribbean and also take advantage of the new status matching. Here we go. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I sailed on Celebrity Cruises for the very first time last year when I went on Celebrity Apex for a 7 night cruise. That's one of Celebrity's newer cruise ships. And I actually went on a 2 night preview sailing of Celebrity Ascent shortly thereafter, but that was a media cruise, not a real thing. Anyway, my first foray into Celebrity was good. I enjoyed my sailing, but I definitely missed Royal Caribbean, especially the entertainment aspect of it. Kind of felt like in the evenings it really let me down. So I was curious what it would be like to go on a Celebrity ship that is not one of their newer ships and is one of the ships visiting Perfect Day at CocoCay. One of the big changes that Celebrity made was to start visiting Royal Caribbean's private island. And Celebrity Reflection offers cruises from Fort Lauderdale that are 3 and 4 nights long that visit Perfect Day along with a stop in Nassau, Bahamas. So I thought, what if I went on a Celebrity cruise that also had a Royal Caribbean day in it? Would that endear me more to the Celebrity experience overall? The other big change for this cruise was that since my last sailing of Celebrity, Royal Caribbean and Celebrity have announced a new status matching in which Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Silver Sea have a better status matching program between them. Essentially, being a Pinnacle Club member, which is the top tier of Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor Society, I now get the equivalent top tier status within Celebrity Cruises of Zenith status. Previously, it was maxed out at Elite, but now I'm getting the very best Celebrity perks available. I had no idea going into this cruise how lucrative being a Zenith member would be. I mean, I certainly knew I was going to get some nice benefits to it, but I was blown away by it. First and foremost, before the cruise began, I got an email from Celebrity that I was given a completely free premium drink package and 1 device fast internet package. On top of that, I also got complimentary laundry, 25% off specialty dining cover charge, access to the Retreat Lounge / Michael's Club, which is basically the suite lounge on Celebrity Reflection, and of course, priority boarding in the cruise terminal being a Zenith member. The fact that I got just the free Wi-Fi package and the free drink package is already better than what I would have gotten on Royal Caribbean. Certainly Royal Caribbean, I do get a free internet package being a Pinnacle Club member, but I only get 6 drinks a day with being a Pinnacle Club member, whereas on Celebrity, I got a full drink package, which meant I could have unlimited drinks up to a certain amount of money, just like on Royal Caribbean, but here on Celebrity, I can use it anywhere, anytime, with no limit. That was truly impressive. For this cruise, originally I had booked an inside cabin for me and my wife. It was actually a BOGO offer through Celebrity Cruises in which it was comped to the first guest and 50% off for the second guest. In this case, I was assigned an inside cabin for $545.06 for the two of us, and that included all port fees and taxes. As the cruise got a little bit closer, like a week or two before the cruise, my wife and I were talking, and we were thinking, gee, wouldn't it be nice to maybe upgrade this? And so we reached out to our travel agent to see how much would it be to move up to maybe a balcony cabin. And we actually got to move up to a balcony concierge classroom for only $292 total for the two of us, which I thought was an incredible deal. So in total, we paid $837.06 for the two of us to go on a 3 night cruise in concierge class. Concierge class is kind of a confusing term. It sounds a little bit better than it is. It's essentially an upgraded, plusher version of a balcony room. It's not quite staying in a suite, but you get extra benefits, including access to the concierge team, which again is not exactly like a suite, but it's sort of like, it's kind of confusing with Celebrity. They have like different classes. They have aqua class and they have concierge class. And then of course they have the retreat / suite area. It gets a little confusing even for me. With concierge class, you get a couple extra benefits. First of all, you get an exclusive welcome aboard lunch on boarding day. You also get 1 complimentary bottle of champagne delivered to your cabin. You get daily delectable delights, which essentially is a plate of little mini bites that you can eat on. You get 5 points per night in Celebrity Cruises Captain's Club for being a concierge class guest. There are upgraded bathrobes and towels provided for you. And the other thing, of course, is the dedicated onboard concierge who can help with any issues that you might have. Our cruise boarded from Fort Lauderdale, aka Port Everglades, and it was a pretty easy process. Terminal 25 is absolutely beautiful, and we were able to get on board the ship quite quickly. In fact, being a Zenith Club member, we were able to get into the Retreat Lounge in the cruise terminal. So the retreat lounge is essentially like the suite area that you would find in a Royal Caribbean cruise terminal, and this is an upgraded area that had basically a buffet of breakfast foods and coffees and comfortable seating to enjoy while you wait for boarding to begin. Once on board the ship, Celebrity Reflection was different than I certainly expected. Now, I knew it's not one of their newer ships. The Edge class is what a lot of people associate with Celebrity these days because it's really made a lot of headlines. The Edge class is to Celebrity what the Oasis class really was for Royal Caribbean. It really redefined the fleet and set a new standard. Reflection is a Solstice class ship, which is one class older than the Edge class. And that's still a pretty big ship, by the way. This is not the Vision of the Seas equivalent, which is kind of what I expected a little bit. However, Reflection did not get the upgrades and changes that some of the other Solstice class ships got. That was partly because of the whole cruise industry shutdown of 2020. But the bottom line is, Reflection reminded me a lot of the Radiance class within Royal Caribbean, but on a much bigger scale. The Radiance class is well known for a lot of glass, a lot of viewing opportunities, and some really cool features on board the ship. And I thought that Reflection incorporated a lot of those. In fact, I thought the elevators looked exactly like the Radiance class ship elevators, and there were a few touches here and there. There were lots of lounges and different restaurants on board, and overall, I thought Celebrity's done a really good job with offering lots to do on board this ship. Something else that I forgot was a thing on Celebrity that is absolutely amazing is you can actually go right to your cabin as soon as you board the ship to drop your things off. Now, just like Royal Caribbean, you can't hang out in your cabin, but the difference is you can actually get on board as soon as possible and drop your luggage off in your cabin. This is a really nice perk because otherwise, when you board the ship, you've got to wait for your cabin to be ready. And in some cases, that can take a couple of hours. In fact, when I was on Anthem of the Seas last month, I had to wait till over 2 o'clock for that to occur, which meant I was stuck with all my carry-on stuff for a couple of hours, which is inconvenient. But on Celebrity, you go right to your cabin, there's no door stopping you, drop yourself off, and go. In fact, in many cases, the stateroom attendant might tell you, hey, you're cool to stay there because I'm already done with the room, but that's more of a your mileage may vary situation. I really liked that. I thought it was amazing. Second of all, I really liked having access to Michael's Club, which is the suite lounge on board Celebrity Reflection. A little bit of trivia for you. The Michael that's being alluded to is actually Michael Bailey because prior to being Royal Caribbean CEO, he was Celebrity CEO, hence the name. Anyway, on newer ships, this is the Retreat Lounge, but being a Zenith Club member, I'm able to access the suite area, which of course in this case is Michael's Lounge, and I really liked it. They did a really good job with this. First of all, it's not just a suite lounge because there's a bar in there. The suite concierge is there to help you as well. And they have self-service drinks all along the wall. In fact, you can get 24-hour access to bottled water and soft drinks. And from 7 a.m. to midnight, access to beers that are in the fridge there, which I thought was absolutely mind-blowing. On Royal Caribbean's Oasis class ships, you have access to beer and wine from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., but these are expanded hours, and it's a lot easier. You simply walk in, grab it, and be on your way. In fact, on the formal night, whatever you want to call it, on this particular sailing, in the Suite Lounge in Michael's Club, they actually had a performer in there who played live music, things that just would never happen on Royal Caribbean. Within about a day or two of being on Reflection, I really figured out that the Zenith benefits are better than the Pinnacle Club benefits, at least in my limited experience so far. I was really blown away by how much more you got for it. Certainly, the free drink package really stood out. Now, 6 free drinks a day from Royal Caribbean is not anything to stick your nose up at, but of course, a completely free drink package was really nice. Now, on a 3-night cruise, I didn't need to use the complimentary laundry, but that would have been a really nice benefit on a longer sailing. I met a couple other people who were on board the ship who were also Pinnacle Club refugees, and they told me the same thing, which is that they were really impressed by the equivalent status and that it really stood out. And of course, the other thing that I couldn't help but notice was the twice-a-day housekeeping for every cabin on the ship. As you may know, Royal Caribbean cut out twice-a-day cabin service for cabins below a suite level a couple of years ago as one of its cost-cutting measures in the time that came after the cruise industry restarted. Now, I said at the time, and I still feel that way, once a day isn't bad at all, it's still better than a lot of land hotels, but having the cabin attendant turn the room down twice a day was really nice. I don't really care for the chocolates on your pillow thing that Celebrity does, like, okay, cool, whatever, but really having the option to go in there and having your towels refreshed, having the bed made so that way when you take your inevitable afternoon nap, the bed is still ready for your evening sleep in there. I just thought it was a really nice touch, and I kind of missed that. Certainly, you can still get on Royal Caribbean if you're staying in a suite, but being in a balcony cabin, I was pleasantly surprised by that as well. Now, part of the reason I booked this cruise was also to go to Perfect Day at CocoCay. As I mentioned, this is a new change where celebrities are able to visit Perfect Day. On this day, we were docked at Perfect Day at CocoCay with Allure of the Seas. And as we walked off the ship and disembarked on the island and started walking around, it kind of felt a little surreal that I was getting off on a Royal Caribbean private island, but I wasn't on a Royal Caribbean ship. It was kind of a weird mental thing. I don't know, maybe I probably overthought the entire thing, but being there, it felt very familiar. On Celebrity, I enjoy the experience, but I do miss the Royal Caribbean experience overall. And then being back at Perfect Day, it gave me a little bit of a Royal Caribbean hit, if you will. And it was nice going there. In fact, we ended up just spending the day at Oasis Lagoon. We thought about maybe doing Hideaway Beach because we didn't have our kids with us, but the price was significantly higher than I was willing to pay. It was well over $50 per person. And I thought, you know what? We're just going to hang out at Oasis Lagoon because there's so much to do at Perfect Day that costs absolutely nothing extra. So if the prices you're seeing are not within your ballpark of what you're looking to pay, really don't look at it as a bad thing, because between South Beach and Oasis Lagoon and Chill Island and Harbor Beach, there's a lot to like. And I really like the food that's included in places like the Snack Shack and Chill Grill. I think they're vastly underrated. So we just spent the day at Oasis Lagoon, swam up to the bar, hung out over there. And the nice thing about the Oasis Lagoon is there's no longer a DJ. It's actually DJ MP3 that's now playing music in there. But I really like the vibe here. And being there in the morning, it was totally fine. It wasn't too much of a party scene for us. And we just enjoyed our time. For someone that's just used to Royal Caribbean, it was nice having that one stop in a Royal Caribbean enclave and kind of gave us a little bit of a fix there. But the thing about Celebrity is there are things I like about it and things I don't like about it. Number one, I like the fact that certain venues really stand out. First of all, Cafe El Baccio is like the best thing ever. It makes Cafe Promenade look like a gas station coffee shop compared to it. On Celebrity, you sit down at Cafe El Baccio, someone comes, takes your order for you, it's great views out there. There's significantly better service, and of course, the food and drinks seem to be a step up from what you find at Cafe Promenade. The coffee especially, I feel, is just tastes better to me. Speaking of food, I also really, really love the Ocean View Cafe, which is the buffet on Celebrity ships. Now, it's maybe not as good as the Ocean View Cafe on the Edge class ships, but the one here on Reflection was still really good. I appreciate the greater variety of food. The panini station they have at lunch is absolutely phenomenal. And just in general, I find there's a better selection of food over on Celebrity's buffet compared to Royal Caribbean, which, by the way, is not bad at all. It's just feel like they do a little bit better job in terms of the different choices you may have. And lastly, I really like the solarium area on Reflection. Again, it reminded me a lot of the solarium, the adults-only pool area on the Radiance class ships. The solarium on Celebrity was really a nice touch. I actually reached out to a friend who works at Royal Caribbean and I asked them, hey, what's your favorite thing to do on Celebrity? And they mentioned the solarium really stood out as a good feature on Reflection. And so I went over there and I got to admit, it was really nice. Climate controlled, comfortable seats, good views, and lots of glass out there. I was really impressed by that area. However, while I liked a lot about what my cruise was on Reflection, and I would like to go back again, the thing is, there are things notably missing on Celebrity that just stand out. Number one, the entertainment after 10 o'clock is woefully bad. I mean, after 10 o'clock on any given night, there's like 4 or 5 events total between 10 p.m. and onwards. And I'm not a party animal, but I do really, really miss the Schooner Bar or the English-style pub. And Celebrity's live music just does not compare to Royal Caribbean's. Furthermore, while they do have shows on Celebrity, they're very nice. Again, quality-wise, I'm not sure it quite stacks up to Royal Caribbean. That's a big thing. And I feel like that energy that you get on a Royal Caribbean ship after dinner just is unmatched on Celebrity. There was also a woeful lack of storage space in our cabin. It was actually surprising, but there were only like 3 drawers, and the rest were all closets and requiring us to hang up our clothes. My wife actually said if we were on a 7-night cruise, she's not sure how she would have organized everything in there. Not a big deal, but something that kind of stood out, especially compared to even on an equivalent ship that's 20 years old on Royal Caribbean. There just would have been much more storage space, either in drawers or shelving. And lastly, I'll give Celebrity one more thing I really liked about them was the fact that their casino is non-smoking. As a non-smoker, it really made a difference, and I really appreciated that. Actually, it was something that I was looking forward to because I do enjoy spending some time in the casino. And unfortunately, on Royal Caribbean, which has a smoking and a non-smoking side, which of course is ridiculous, you always walk away there either smelling like smoke or having this little bit of a smell to it. Anyway, that's not the case here at all on Celebrity. Speaking of smoking, one of my pet peeves still exists on Celebrity, which is people who go on board and think they're being coy about sneaking in a drag in their vape. I saw people do this in the elevator, I saw them do it in the casino, I saw them do it on the outside decks. This is just a really annoying thing that people who vape think that they can do that and everyone else doesn't notice it, whether they vape into their shirt or whatever. Like, just if you're gonna vape or you're gonna smoke, just follow the rules. Otherwise, don't do it. It's disrespectful to everybody else around you, and no one else wants to smell it, see it, or what have you. But that's just me. Anyway, I really enjoyed my time on Celebrity, and I think it's a great option to mix things up. That's really the best way I can describe it. I'm still gonna be cruising with Royal Caribbean going forward, but I really did enjoy my time on Celebrity, and it's just nice to be able to have a slightly different experience. And going on Celebrity, it's not like stepping out and trying a completely different cruise line, unassociated with Royal Caribbean whatsoever. The core DNA and some of the features there are very familiar, and things like, they're using the same terminology. CPass, the app, is pretty much identical to Royal Caribbean's, and there was just a lot more carryover than you would find on other lines. Plus, being able to go to Perfect Day CocoCay was an excellent touch, and I think that for people going there, they're going to find as much fun as Royal Caribbean guests get to enjoy. Let me know in the comments below if you've been on Celebrity Reflection or you've given a try to Celebrity after many years of cruising with Royal Caribbean. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments below. While you're down below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know of a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.